Yo. You know what that means? You know what that means? You know what that means? Sorry to cut you off, but you know what that means. It is. I'm always pumped on Wednesdays. You know that. They know that. Yep. Yep. I miss you already, buddy. Wish we, man, I know. We're back to digital scissoring. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, this was a show, as you say. This is the went home. The yeah, the go. Yeah. I think we missed the bloody nose. I texted you about this whenever I was rewatching it. We missed the bloody nose. Um, uh, since we were, oh man, I did not read. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, first I thought we were playing a drum circle. Boom.
It may not have. It may not have gotten.
Anyway,
It may have been one-sided audio at the beginning, but we have it fixed
anyway,
now. Whatever. It was just a
uh,
minute. Let's just keep rolling with it. What's
no, the
up?
pay per view was awesome. I hope everyone listening to this listens to our show. But I did not know that coming off the pay per view they were going to be in Chicago.
Yes,
That was
this is a big point of contention here.
that was something. That was something. Um, but no, the pay per view was actually not fresh in my mind going into this. I hadn't even remembered half of it, and which is probably a good thing because they really didn't address a bunch of it in a very big way, actually. But
Few of
anyway,
the
we'll
key
go over that.
angles progressed, but yeah. Well, it starts off hot anyway. We get Regal opening up this Dynamite here. The last time we saw him was, of course, passing the Nux to MJF. He opens the show basically saying that MJF won't be there,
Yeah, oh yeah.
which
Which
is
I know. How'd that feel for you? I know that's last last month before the pay per view. You were not very happy with MJF not showing up before he was the champion.
right. Well,
How'd that do for you tonight when you found out his very first night as champion, he's not even going to show up?
I instantly hated it, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, it at least makes sense to me now if he's actually like filming this, TV show or movie or whatever he's doing. If that's like a legit, which I know he's doing the story of the Von Erichs. He's playing one of the Von Erichs in this like movie or TV series about them.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So that is a
When's that
legit
coming
thing.
out?
Not sure when it's coming out. I mean, they're still filming it, and I don't know what platform it's going to be on or any real
Well,
details about it, but I do know that's a legit thing. So,
Well, I was very angry that the champion was not there. I was actually riding off your MJF not being there hatred. You were livid, and I was mad that the champion wasn't there. So you know what?
There you go.
I brought mine. So now, as John would say, the champ is here.
There you
So
go.
now let's talk about.
Very nice.
Um, let's see here. What were we talking about? MJF and Regal. And Regal basically saying, what did he say, Mr. Friedman?
Right. Mr. Friedman's not going to be there. He's filming a movie. He's not going to come to a lowly place like Chicago, an easy, heel
He asked where he was.
move there.
He said, where are we?
Yeah. The crowd chants F you, Regal,
Yeah.
very, very clearly on the audio. Regal says that that's just uncouth.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Couth.
He used
It's
that
not
word.
couth.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, hold on a second. Do you think MJF has like a every other week clause in his contract?
He might.
Or a certain amount of weeks a month in his contract?
I don't know, man. It's either possibly that or they're just, trying to be careful with, extremely careful with how they book him and what situations they put him in.
Now, at the end of the match on Saturday, it looked like his shoulder was messed up. Either that or he was superselling.
Right.
Because he looked frustrated and hurt. So
he was even selling the injuries during the scrum.
Yeah. Oh, that scrum. His scrum part was awful. He was horrible.
You thought so?
What?
I thought it was a good promo.
No, it was a good promo, but he was being horrible.
Right.
Words I can't use here.
Right.
This is YouTube. If this was Netflix, I would say some stuff.
Well,
no, but yeah, he was being way worse than even usual MJF, let alone the half babyface we've seen in the last, since he's returned the devil. But anyway,
I think all that is off the table now. We got kind of like a double cross type thing, but we'll see how it all pans out. But yeah, no, Regal's got heat here, says MJF will be back next week. Out comes Moxley. Before Mox can do anything, Danielson runs in there, gets in between the two of them, says, you can't hurt this guy because I love him. He helped me love my own father and understand my own father.
It started getting weird, didn't it?
Oh, dude, I loved this. I thought it was good. It was a little weird, though.
It got weird in the beginning.
Right.
Like right around the I love him part, before it started like getting to the personal part. Like before Brian really latched on to the where he was going with it, it was getting weird because he wasn't finding the words. It seemed like he was struggling to get the mode, the grasp of the idea he was going for. Man, this is heavy. Champ's gotta put this down.
he did have to awkwardly just like dance around the subject, help me understand my father's problems.
Yeah.
Help me get through these problems. And he didn't just like come out and say what it was, so
it was just awkward. Yeah. But yeah, it was interesting.
Really, as on the whole, man, to me, the show went kind of downhill after this. For the most part.
This is a rare thing also that I wanted to notice, since I point out other times, is that you rarely see Dynamite start with a non-match.
A big talking segment, yeah.
Yeah, but this was short, and it was good, and it was fast, and it was intense, as intense as some matches are. It got my heart pumping
Right.
like a match would. So
Danielson
I loved
also,
it.
a big part of his argument was, says, we've all done bad things. You've done bad things. He slaps Moxley.
See, that's when he got into the mode.
Right.
When he was like pushing him forever, he pushed him forever. But
That all happened flip flopped, but yeah,
yeah,
I was really into this.
yeah. But when Mox finally talked,
Yes. Says he wants Regal to
man,
run and never come back, but for right now,
he says
you walk
he
out of here.
says your lordship,
Yeah.
run. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, and that's where they leave it. Now, the problem I did have was after this happened, Excalibur was like, oh, what a way to start off Dynamite. Well, anyway, tonight we have blah, 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 blah. And he starts like firing off matches. I wish they would have just went to commercial. I think it would have drove it home more. I really hate when they have to switch gears so quickly and they don't let the scene sink in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's one thing that like people get annoyed at it or whatever. I know AEW is trying to be different, but that's a good thing that I think that the E does is like if they were to do that segment, like they would let it sink in most of the time and then go to a commercial. It's just something we've been programmed to kind of expect, I think. But yeah, Regal takes off anyway, just to
Mox always delivers, even with the shortest of promos.
they come back. Renee's with Keith Lee in a pre-tape. Swerve walks up, asks them if they can talk.
This was stupid.
Swerve covers up the camera. Keith Lee says something like, well, you don't want to talk in front of the cameras or something. And I don't know, they kept kind of muttering. I couldn't really, it was inaudible to me.
It's like, why would you want to talk away from the camera? Come on. It doesn't even make sense.
Right? We can't
You're
have
not here for
conversations.
you're not here for them. You're not here for yourself. Jeez.
That is one of the weird pro wrestling things, like we have these important conversations with the freaking you know what I mean, with the cameras around. Be that as it may. So there's that. You said you didn't like this, huh?
What?
You didn't like
The
that
little
segment?
promo of that?
It was whatever, right?
No. I'm sick of this. Just give me that match. Winter's
Uh,
coming. Just give it to me. I don't if they're in another tag match, especially if it's for a title, if they're
right.
in another tag match, I'm not gonna love it. But if they are in another non-title match, then there's gotta just be a beat down afterwards, not just a slap and a walk away. It's gotta be a beat down, and then they better have a match at least a week after that. At most, a week after that. If I don't have Swerve and Keith Lee in less than a month in a singles match, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Tony Khan, I know you listen / watch this. Book it.
We've eventually got to get there. Then we get Orange Cassidy, Jake Hager, All Atlantic title.
With the Hager had the B squad and OC had Chaos with him.
The hat versus the pockets
Backpack.
or the backpack or the glasses.
Oh man, I love the backpack. You know why I like the backpack? Other wrestlers walk down the ramp or whatever it is, the aisle with it on their shoulder,
Right.
on their waist, in their hand.
It's
If
brilliant.
you're Bubba Ray Dudley, you wear it on your neck.
Right.
He walks it with it in the backpack. He throws it in the ring, still in the backpack. He puts his hand in the backpack. He turns away from hard cam. He spins around, pulls it out of the backpack. It's seen for what, 5 seconds?
Right.
That puts more pop on it. It makes you want to see it more. It's like puts more of want on that title.
I never thought
You
about
know?
it that way, but you're right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
those other titles are oversaturated.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy's just putting,
They're getting too much
you know,
screen time.
yeah, he's making that title must see.
This was, they did some cool stuff here. It wasn't, it was an entertainment match. It was, but they
Yeah,
they did some cool stuff here. But this match also kind of had me begging the question. So, like, how do you see Hager, Vito? Because, like, I still think he could be a contender if they put the right push behind him. But I think you mentioned on like a prior episode that like just like no, I like you didn't buy him as like a main eventer anymore. Was that you?
yeah. Hager, he seems so good in that mid card, um, almost entertainment spot. He's like this thing with the purple hat.
Right.
It's
Good.
ridiculous, and I don't. It's not really for me because I don't know. Like he kicked out of a submission because the purple hat fell off. For Christ's sakes, I mean that's weird for me.
Right.
I enjoy hands in the pockets and everything Orange Cassidy does, but you let go of that submission with because the hat fell off. Anyway, but Jake Hager, he is entertaining doing stuff like that, and that I like him at mid card like that. I like him as that big guy in the big group, that type of scenario.
Right.
So I don't know. I
I,
like him where he's at.
I guess I can understand that, but man, I was looking at this guy tonight, just like man, this is a former world champ.
Now world champ,
He was like the SmackDown champ for a while.
like
Like when he first started.
the WCW. Did he hold that belt?
He had the big gold belt for a little bit.
Huh.
Yeah.
I
Very
thought he was like the ECW champion, right? Wasn't he in that?
he that happened later, I want to say. He won the
Huh.
world title like within the first year that he was there. It was like immediate.
Um, we'll get our media team on that. So we'll just continue this here.
Yes.
But this match was interesting. I liked it. There was just enough goofiness for me to be in it.
Right.
So
It was a lot of entertainment, but they did some fun spots as well.
yeah,
Uh some athletic stuff. OC wins with an orange punch, then a roll up. The factory comes out and ruins the party. QT Marshall's mic gets cut and the lights go out. And then we get the
not
return.
Danhausen.
Not Danhausen, no. But the truly very evil House of Black.
Yes, Julia Hart. Man, she looked great. She looked so cool in that her get up.
The lady
She
in the
looks
red hat.
Undertaker-ish.
Man in the black pajamas, dude. Only worthy fucking adversary. Excuse me. But yeah, no, this was they come out and kick everybody's ass. And Malachi gets on the mic and says something about House of Black rise or something like that.
Yeah, everybody rise.
Right.
That match went 8:36, by the way.
So apparently Malachi Black is not retired.
No.
It's very, very strange, this whole chain of events. But I'm glad to see he's back. And glad to see the whole group back. And, eventually these guys maybe face whoever ends up winning this best of 7 series, which we'll get to later.
Oh, and our media team is from our question earlier about Jake Hager,
Right.
then known as Jack Swagger at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Back in 2009, I believe it says here, or late 2009, or late 2008, early 2009, he won the ECW championship from Matt Hardy.
Okay.
And then on April 2nd, 2010, he cashed in the Money in the Bank on Jericho to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
That's right. The run did not last long, I believe. It was like a month or two, but he was the champion, and that belt was on SmackDown at the time.
And that was in 2010.
2010,
So
so that was after the ECW title
that
run.
was 12 years ago.
12 years, man. Well, and then they tried again in 2012 when he was with Dutch Mantel doing that gimmick. And he would have won the title from Del Rio at that Mania I went to in New York. But then he got busted for pot like the week before. And they were like, no, we're not putting the title on you now because you're irresponsible. So,
Dolph Ziggler got it.
yeah, he ended up getting it the night after. Yeah. I was bummed that they didn't do it actually at Mania because I did not go to the Raw the night after. And that's when that happened. And it was like, man, would have been nice to have had that moment at the actual show I was at. But, oh well.
So yeah,
But,
I think
yeah.
Hager is. I think, and he looks so comfortable in that spot. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think they could do more with him. I mean, gosh, like you said, it was so long ago. I mean, 10 years ago since he's been in that spot. But I think he's got the experience to, why couldn't you give him a title match or two? Just try it. I don't know.
So speaking to the end of this, there's rumor that there's going to be added to the House of Black. Who would you like to see from this current roster, AEW or Ring of Honor? Who would you like to see rise to join the House of Black?
Ooh, that's interesting. Well, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to have somebody that could tag with Brody King, like another big guy. They could kind of be like the big powerhouse tag team of the
Yeah,
company. I'm not really sure who that would be. You know, you couldn't do like Wardlow or something like that. You can't really do Hobbs. Brian Cage, maybe. I don't know. That would be kind of weird, but they could just redo his. Dude, imagine Brian Cage, Brody Lee tag
Brian
team.
Cage. Can you imagine Brian Cage as like a dark character, like a dark, demented Brian Cage, a, a
I don't.
brooding Brian Cage? Boo!
I don't see why not. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean he's pretty intense. He can probably just switch his intenseness to I don't
right?
know.
Yeah.
I want to eat your heart.
Just make him. And that would be good for him, I think, because I don't think he's a great talker. I think he's a way better worker than a talker.
Oh yeah,
So maybe,
agreed.
so maybe you could get him off the mic a little bit if you put him in the House of Black.
Yeah.
But I'd
I don't
love to see
understand.
it.
He's got that Prince Nana dude, and they still give him promos. I'm like, what are you doing? Give that guy the microphone.
Yeah.
He's got to be better than you.
Excellent take, Vita.
Awful.
Absolutely. 100%. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'd like to see that. I don't know. Who do you think?
I don't know. I was hoping it was like someone. I don't know, one of these younger guys. Maybe they get a tag team.
Mm,
Because Brody and what's his name here? Uh, uh, Buddy Matthews, is that his name here? Buddy Matthews.
yes. Yeah, he was Buddy
Yes.
Murphy in WWE.
Yeah, Buddy Matthews. They seem to be a pretty good team to me. what if they got Top Flight? Wouldn't that be weird?
That would
Or
be
if they
super
got
weird.
or if they got one of those young teens like that?
Wouldn't
Or I don't know.
don't
Something.
necessarily hate it.
Something weird. Yeah. I think a young tag team where they just take the whole tag team would just be weird. I think it'd be cool.
We're speculating on all this stuff. There's going to end up a couple of these like Monster Factory guys, and you know what I mean,
Oh,
Serpentico or
oh,
something.
hold on a second. You wanted a big guy who can tag with Brody King? Oh,
Yeah, who's that dude? The
the
Carmichael guy.
no, the English guy from the factory who's never there. What's his name? Uh, let's get the our media people on it.
The media team are on it, bro. They're on it tonight.
Uh, I can't think of his name. Uh, Anthony Agogo.
Don't know who this guy is. Yeah.
Yes, Anthony Agogo. He's got one of the most awkward segments. If you watch a YouTube video of the worst segments in AEW history, his is like number one.
Oh wow.
It's
Okay.
a weigh-in with Cody Rhodes. It's awful. Like the scale doesn't even work. It just all gets screwed up. It's
Okay.
easily the worst segment in AEW.
All right.
Uh, but he had this rivalry with Cody, and it was like America versus the UK, and like they laid flags on each other, and it's like, and it was so oddly received because it's like America's not at war with UK. It's
Right.
like why are you guys doing this back and forth? It was just a weird
Right.
rivalry. So,
This isn't
but
1812 or anything.
yeah, but that dude Anthony Gogo is a big dude, and he's like a boxer.
Okay.
Um, so he would be, and he's part of the factory, but he's never. I don't know where he's at. He's
Parker
never there.
Boudreaux.
Ooh,
I don't know.
yeah,
I mean, just throwing out big guy names at this
yeah.
point, but you know what I mean.
I would
I
just
haven't
love for
seen this
Anthony
go
Ogogo to
guy.
get some TV time. That dude's cool.
Okay.
But anyway, moving on. House of Black is getting more people. I want to know who they are.
HOB is back. The Hob is back. Hobnob Dots. Uh, then I think we had this was the Eliminator final, right? Unless I missed something beforehand. This
I
is
think Jungle Boy was talking about it was like post cage match,
that's right.
but I mean I didn't get it. I don't think I heard much about it. I don't have no notes. I just wrote cage match promo. I didn't get any of it.
All
I'm sure
right.
we'll get something next week.
The 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 prediction didn't come true as of yet for your thing with the Jungle Boy thing, but they could still do
No.
it.
Yeah, we gotta give us a week or two.
Okay.
Maybe next week.
Well, we got
Uh
Stark's page. Yeah. No, Starks had taped ribs. Stokely got kicked out of the match.
yeah,
Starks tried really hard to get that super babyface sympathy with the tape job and all that.
Starks was wrapped up in way worse than late '90s DDP was. Remember,
Right.
remember late '90s DDP?
Oh yeah.
That was like part of his outfit was the tape.
Yep.
I bet you if you go back and look at his action figures, there's tape on them.
Yeah, there's probably a couple versions of it for sure.
And that
Uh,
Stokely's annoying.
you know,
I'd rather hear Ethan. He's better on the mic, and he's less annoying.
yeah. Stokely's good at like backstage type promos and stuff like that. When I could see his live mic work being kind of annoying. I could see where you could think that.
Yeah, like tonight when he was walking down the ring, I I did not like that at
Right.
all. But when Ethan got the mic, I liked it.
Right.
I'm an
Why do
Ethan
we
Page
need
fan.
this?
Yeah,
Well, he gets his A kicked out of there anyway.
yeah,
And, this match was kind of, it was good, but, Starks has got to, like, do all this selling, so it kind of limits a little bit of what he could do, and, like, what's believable, when you're, like, trying to wrestle through the pain. Yeah, you have, like, these hope moments, but like you can't really like do a full scale offense, while still
yeah.
trying to sell.
That dive he did that basically sent Stokely out was scary.
Oh
Where
yeah, yeah,
Stokely
yeah.
pulled Ethan out of the way. That
Right
was,
before the thing.
it pulled all my breath out. All the breath left my chest. I was like, oh man, don't check. But it was a fluid match. I thought there was a lot of, I don't know, it seemed pretty solid.
It told a solid story, and I was into it, but it seemed like
Super scary suplex at one point,
I missed that.
or
What
the suit?
around
No, it was a
what?
superplex.
Oh,
It
that
was the
deal, that spot.
superplex.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were about to fall, and then who did it? Oh, it was Starks. They were about to fall, and he just went for it. He pushed off. I mean, they landed perfect.
right.
It worked out perfect, but
It
it
looked
was last minute.
sketchy. It looked
It was
sketchy at
last
first.
minute. They were gonna fall, and he knew they were gonna fall. So he's like, "Oh, I have footing." Boom, going for it.
Right.
Yeah, he was lucky. That was a luck. That was pretty good though. I
You
did
know,
like that he knew he couldn't get Rochambeau because of all the tape that he had.
right. That
But I also wish Ethan Page would have took some tape off.
ooh, there you go. That would have been a nice touch.
Yeah. If he really
Can't argue
wanted to
with
make
that.
himself an extra heel, like to push a heel, like just to give you more
Get that heat.
uh like if you're playing a video game, you'd get the heel star going up.
Right.
Just to up your heel meter,
Yeah, for
rip
sure.
some tape off.
That may have helped because when
Yeah,
Starks first started his big comeback at the end, he was not getting the reaction he was looking for. He was doing the pausing, trying to do the, get the crowd into it sort of thing. But
yeah,
then by the end, they were finally there with him. When he hit the finish, there was a nice big pop, and then when he got the win, there was also a nice big pop. So
yeah. And we knew he was going to get the win. We knew this his to win.
I mean, that would make sense, right? MJF staying heel, you need a face, and
Yep.
Starks, even though he's kind of a new face on the block, he is technically a face right now. So
I mean,
that's good.
I would rather Ethan Page, but it's from where we are in the company, where we are in the timeline. We Ricky Starks was the one to get it.
His time will come for sure.
Now
Well,
this next part, I had a giggle. I actually giggled to myself. I GOL'd.
the Wardlow vignette.
Yes.
What part? What made you giggle about it?
Okay. So he says, "I didn't know what happened. I had
Oh
to
yeah,
go. I had to go back and rewatch it.
right.
Last thing I knew, I was power bombing him, doing my symphony, and all of a sudden, I
Yeah,
get whacked in the back of the head. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. I've never really heard a guy like, I didn't know what happened. I had to go watch the tape.
right.
I I tried to remember. I was like, man, have I ever heard anyone say that? I couldn't remember anyone saying that. I'm sure people have said it that I just couldn't remember. I was like, that's hilarious. He didn't know what happened. He had to watch the tape.
Uh, it seems familiar, but I couldn't point it out. But
Well, an
yeah,
image popped in my head. Oh, that Ethan Page match went 12:55. I don't know if I said that. Um,
Well, that was
but
that's like Mick Foley, after that Hell in a Cell,
yeah.
he didn't remember any of it. Like he
Well,
was
he didn't
literally
watch it for a while.
right. And then when he did watch it, he was like, "Wow, what?" You know what I mean? Like he didn't remember it.
Um, I just pictured like Wardlow, like maybe the next day, like getting his breakfast up, having his phone like on the counter or something, like eating his burrito. It's like, huh,
Right.
that's what happened.
Right. No, like your mom didn't
No
call
wonder
you
I was
that
knocked
night,
out.
or you know, no one told you in the back, "Hey, man,
No, yeah, no,
fucking Joe hit you
like
with the belt, bro."
I can't believe Joe hit you with the belt.
Yeah.
What? Nope, nope. He
Nothing.
had to go. He had to wait until he saw it on the video. Who
Oh,
knows how long
jeez.
you waited to watch it? Oh man, I don't know. Now
Right.
you're on the same page as me.
Was it that night? Was it the next
The
day?
next morning.
Right.
Yeah.
What were you
Oh,
eating? Were you eating Cheerios? I mean, I have
oh
so many
man.
questions.
Yeah. What was going on? Anyway, now you're on the same path as me. What,
There you
what
go.
and when was Wardlow doing when he watched the video back?
Right.
Uh,
You can't just leave us on this cliffhanger, Wardlow.
yeah, to be a fly on the wall when Wardlow watched the tape back. Anyway,
Well, then we get Jade firing Kiera Hogan.
and Red Velvet's back. Hoo hoo hoo.
Mark Sterling is still around as the lawyer, apparently. He makes her sign the paper saying that she's no longer a baddie.
It's because Red Velvet's back. We don't really need Kara Hogan. I don't even remember that other girl's name. I would have got rid of her, but only because I like Kara Hogan's hair.
So is Kiera actually a Hogan? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, straight up.
I
No,
thought
I don't know. I don't think so.
I I could have swore I read back in the day that she legitimately was. That's why I was like, oh
No,
wow,
no. I think I heard in a podcast she's not.
huh,
But and
interesting.
I don't even think she's a fan of Hogan either. Um, but do you know why I like Red Velvet? I've been a Red Velvet fan since the very first time I saw her wrestle. It's not true anymore what I'm saying about to say. Do you know where she used to be billed from?
Where?
Your mama's kitchen.
All right,
But she's from like Miami now.
okay.
Yeah. She used to come in the ring like stirring a bowl like this. Or she'd do this. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Justin Roberts would be like, from your mama's kitchen. Oh man. Yep. Red Velvet.
Bro, I'd say that may be like the weirdest thing I've ever
Right?
heard, but
Way better than Parts Unknown.
I watched this chick on NXT come out and like with a pillow and like lay down before she
in
got
a
in the ring.
in a onesie. Or in a
Have you seen this?
and she came out in like footy pajamas.
Yeah, something like that. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, what the hell is this?
That's what you get for watching NXT, dude.
Bro, I tried to watch it for the first time in so long. It was like it was all I could do. It was more than half women's matches. But there were some, there were some other there was like a tag team match that was all right. The main
Yeah, I
event was all right.
Wendy Chu is her name.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey man,
Wendy
to each
Chu.
their own. To each their freaking own.
She wrestled in pajamas. It's
Well,
crazy.
then we get match number 2, Elite versus Death Triangle.
Hey, they still got the song.
Still carrying on the Wayward Sons.
and they are not cheered tonight. The
Very,
crowd cheered them like crazy at the pay-per-view, but tonight they are booed out the building.
we were in Chicago, and we kind of thought that that would happen, but then like they were booing them, but then we also had a small FCM Punk chant. Did you catch that?
um, no, they were. It was a CM Punk chant, not an FCM Punk chant.
Oh, really?
I just heard. I heard F Elite. I heard F Elite, and I heard multiple CM Punk chants, and yeah,
I don't
lots
know,
of
man. I'm gonna
CM
have
Punk
to go
chants.
back and watch it because I could have swore there was a very vocal small section of the audience that was like that was still doing the FCM Punk thing, and they
Was it the
showed them.
AEW roster? It's just some. It's like the cast of BTE out there.
They showed them on camera. They showed Nick Jackson egging it on once again, and then like when they were done, he like uh he was all smiling about it, and he like looked over at Kenny to like get Kenny's approval, and Kenny just like completely no sold it. He was just kind of like, okay, because
Huh. Now
Kenny.
I gotta go back and watch it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna check it out and see if I just misconstrued that. I'm very curious to see, but Kenny had came out and said on Twitter, that he wanted everyone to like forget about it, and just like downplay the whole thing, because he's like, we're all
Professional.
we're all professionals, we're all artists, so like let's just all forget about it and move on, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But very weird how this is all happening. But yes, Pac has a face guard from the broken nose.
He was trying to fit in. He wore a mankind mask.
Right.
It was cool.
The man in the iron mask.
Um, that
Yeah.
knee to start it out, that was amazing.
You know,
Phoenix was trying to like shake Kenny's hand, be like, "Hey,
right.
sorry for the hammer to the head. Bygones be bygones."
Yeah.
And he ate a V trigger knee right in the face. It was beautiful. I loved it.
uh Story of this match basically ends up being that the Elite tried to even things up since they got basically cheated out of the first match with the bell thing. So they try to use the bell themselves, and it backfires.
Yeah. They were playing heel hard here. I don't know if it was just because they're playing against Chicago or if this is going to be who
Right.
they are.
It was a very different contrast from what we saw on Sunday. It was like the
Yeah.
psychology of the match was completely switched up.
Yeah.
Which, not to get
Because
on a rant,
they were playing the Chicago hard.
right?
Yeah.
Very good point, Vito. That's what I'm saying is,
And Taz hit a yam bag tonight.
oh,
Yam-bag area while Nick was on the ropes.
okay. Yeah, I didn't catch any. I'm glad you caught it. I didn't think I heard it
Yep.
once tonight.
Nope. I'll catch all the yam-bags from Taz.
But not to get off on a rant about this, but this match got me thinking with them switching the psychology because of the city that they're in. It's just another one of the reasons why maybe traditional babyface versus heels, that sort of thing, why that just doesn't work in today's environment all the time anymore, and you can't just draw that straight line and write it like one-sided like that. You have to be prepared for anything with the way that the crowds are nowadays. Depending on the city you're in, they can turn on you on the dime. So then you
There's
have
zero
to
chance
adjust.
they could have played baby faces in Chicago tonight.
Exactly. So you
And
gotta.
only 2/3 of Lucha Brothers are heels at this
So,
point.
right.
So it's like, what? I mean, it's weird. AEW does not play by the social norms.
Well, I mean, the foundations of stuff are there. And I think this just goes for wrestling in general is that you can have the basic idea of how you're booking the thing, but you also have to be, flexible on the fly, I think, as well.
Yeah.
And just be good enough to roll with those punches. That speaks to the professionality, I think, of guys like the elite, and then especially the elite, but also the Death Triangle guys. All respect to them, but able to recognize that and go with that. Just like Rock Hogan in Mania 18. Uh, they just kind of rolled with it, but
Excalibur did let me down in this match one time though. Whoa.
cup
Throwing dishes?
cup went over.
Oh, see, I cut my mouth
My
again dry. Thank you.
my pin cup.
Mm, the Deadpool cup.
There we go. Got your cup.
Yep.
So
Anyway,
yeah,
Excalibur let me down tonight
how
in
did he
his
do that?
infinite Mike Tenay wisdom. He called the super kick. All three guys put the super kick to one of the three guys when they were on his knees. He called
Hmm.
the BTE trigger.
Ooh yeah.
I was like, what? That wasn't even close to the BTE trigger. That was just a super kick. They
Oh,
gotta like hold on to his arms and stuff to do the BTE trigger, and it's and their knees. It's like, don't tell me they're renaming the move because I've seen that and it pisses me off.
that's the super kick party, right?
Yeah, that's a super kick party
Yeah,
on the knees, I
right.
guess. Yeah,
Well, we'll let you pass this time, McScally.
and don't do it again.
Scallywag.
Omega hit a GTS. I popped for that. Oh, did I pop for that? I wish he would have won with that.
I missed that. He really did that in this match, really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It
Bro,
looked good too. He looked straight at the hard cam and did it.
I think we've all been worked, man. We've all been worked. They're going to do this trios thing. By that time, Punk's going to come back, and then you're going to have a hot feud. You watch.
So anyway, lots of hammers are in the ring. This time Penta uses it.
Yes.
Phoenix is not happy.
Well, yeah, the Elite try to use it, but Penta ends up stealing it, using it, and that gets us the win for the Death
Yep.
Triangle. They go up 2-0.
Yep. Phoenix is not impressed.
Even though he
This
did it the first time. Now he's
on
going to be
accident.
right.
Adrenaline took over. He had it in his hand. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Adrenaline was in his soul.
Yeah. This match went 14:49.
Okay. What do you think was better, this one or the first one? It had to have been the first one
The
so
first
far, right?
one.
That
The
was just
first one, yeah.
that was a pay-per-view match. They,
Yeah.
a little bit slower here, but
Didn't have all the big moments. Some good moments in this match. Didn't have big moments.
then we get huge news, Vito. Renee is
We were
on the
just
ramp.
talking about this.
Yes. She announces that Thunder Rose is relinquishing her title.
Interim no more.
Now Jamie Hayter is the official champion. We were
And so
talking
was
about this.
Tony Storm. They said that at the in the middle of that match.
Oh, really?
Tony
Okay.
Storm's um, Rain was official too.
Okay. So we're apparently not getting Thunder Rosa back to do a unification program. She's just
No,
apparently done altogether, right? Like she must be
I
just
don't.
gone.
I don't think she's retiring. I think
No.
it's just the fact that she's going to be gone long enough that they're tired of saying interim.
Hmm.
Honestly, I think that's the case. They're just sick of saying interim. It takes too long to say. Doesn't sound cool. Don't roll off the tongue. So
Do you think they stopped doing the interim thing altogether after this, or
no, Tony's a
Tony's an interim guy?
he's a traditionalist, and interims how they've done it for years. Tony's an NWA guy. He's a tape trader.
All
It's
right,
always
but
he
when
he'll
push
do
comes to
interim.
shove, and they had to strip Punk. Now they've had to strip Thunder Rosa. It's like they should have just done that to Thunder Rosa in the first place. You know, why wait all this time? I don't know. It is what it is. So then Hater comes out with the group with Britt and who's the third chick in the group?
Ty
Uh,
Mello, Anna JAS. Oh, and Brit's group,
yeah.
Rebel.
Okay, yeah, Rebel. And they do a promo at the ramp, and Britt does all the talking. And then they go
Yeah.
to the ring.
What's weird is like Jamie kind of looked like she was gonna be mad for like a split second, but then she's like, "That's cool. She can do it." I'm
Right.
wondering how long she's gonna do that.
There was definitely very subtle foreshadowing here.
A subtle foreshadowing.
Yeah.
What, a year ago?
Well, I
I'm
mean
gonna go
they've
back in my notes and see how long they've been teasing that breakup.
they've been teasing it for a while, yes, but
Jeez.
they're starting to really drive it home now.
I
And
mean, my
that
kid was in kindergarten when they started this rivalry, and now she just graduated high school. I mean, not rivalry, the teasing the breakup.
well, be that as it may, they get into this three-way tag team match with friggin' yeah, Anna Jay, right? I don't know
Ty
who.
Mello
Ty
and
Mello.
Anna JS versus Willow Nightingale and Sky Blue versus Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker.
Okay, it's a lot. It's a lot to say for sure.
Yeah, it's not my type of match. I'm not into it.
You
It's
know,
not.
I started this thing not digging it, like just being like, "Oh, this is a match I can skip." But then I got like, I actually got semi-interested in it part of the way through.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, kind of the same thing for me. I started. I was actually messing around on my phone a little bit, and I looked up, and um, I'm a Ty Mello fan. I liked how she did some like Brazilian fighting. She's got some. She's a black belt in Brazilian, I think, jiu-jitsu or something like that.
she's a BJJer.
Yeah. So so she does some cool stuff. I've always been a fan of hers, and Anna JS is like a brutal, crazy wrestler. I liked her matches with Brandy Rhodes back in the day. So I've always been a fan of those two, and they looked the best in this match, I thought.
Well, she's gonna need some challengers, so maybe that's kind of the idea. That's they should have used this match to set up those challengers more, and maybe do, maybe have one of them win. But no,
Yeah,
we get right.
the winner is her next challenger. What do you think about that?
Well, we get more set up, right? We get more set up for that because Britt basically, just takes the spotlight for herself, wins the match, grabs the title. You could just tell by the way she handed the title to Hayter and just that whole exchange that it's like, okay, well, now we're probably really going here now.
If Britt Baker beats Jamie Hayter for the belt, I'm gonna be so mad. Excuse me.
That can't happen.
No, I'll be very angry.
So we'll see.
That match went 7:23, by the way.
Okay. Let's see here. FTR Top Flight pre-tape. They're apparently going to have a match on Rampage, so that should be good. Acclaimed have arrived, people. The Acclaimed have arrived.
Yo.
Listen.
Yo.
Daddy Ass's hands are better.
He can scissor.
I'm getting some
there was
Kushida.
There was a line in the rap that says, "We broke up Swerve and Keith Lee."
Right. Yeah, and that was led into their rap from the pay-per-view too, when he was talking about how their team had like a limited time or expiration date or some line like that. I don't know.
I got confused in this, Brandon. I need your help.
Okay. Lay it on me.
So, you want to tell the people who interrupted interrupted Daddy Ass? They're about to scissor me, Daddy.
Right.
Bowens had the microphone. They, about to scissor me, Daddy Ass. The big term. All the stuff was off. They was about to hit the big mark. Then I'm sick of these guys. I am.
Slap
I'm sick of these
Nuts
guys.
Incorporated.
What's your Slap Nuts Incorporated? TNA 2006.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
We immediately have a TNA sucks chant. Did you hear
that?
that?
I did not hear that. No.
It was loud too. I don't know how you missed it.
Oh.
TNA sucks. It was beautiful. I was like, I can't believe you missed it. Anyway, so they interrupt the tag team champions. Saddam Singh, Jay Lethal, the Himalaya Playa, Sanjay Dutt, and Jeff Jarrett. They interrupt the tag team champions. Those four guys. Okay?
Right.
If there's going to be a program with the tag team champions, what two guys are going to go for the tag team titles out of those four? Can you explain that to me? Well, Sanjay, I don't think Sanjay can wrestle. So now we're at Satnam Singh and Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett.
Well, it's got to be Jarrett and Lethal. It can't be anybody else.
Let me move my fingers here. All right. Seriously?
You made this happen.
How did I make this happen?
Didn't you predict this on the last show? The show we did after the pay-per-view, I asked who would be, who's the next tag team for the Acclaimed? And you said almost jokingly that it was going to be Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
Oh my God, I think I did.
I think we need I'm pretty sure we have video evidence. You wish this upon us, so I hope you're happy.
Because they're a heel tag team.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. Oh, I hate my great power.
You wish casted this.
Why do I have such a great power?
Tony Khan was like, damn, that's a good idea.
Damn you, Tony Khan. Stop listening to this.
And there we
go. We need to block this from Tony Khan. Oh, this is awful.
But luckily, hopefully it's a short feud and not a long feud that extends into the next pay-per-view, Hopefully it's just, it's a few weeks and
Damn
then
it.
they figure out somebody else.
Well, it led to Daddy Ass speaking in third person. That was awesome. He says, "To me, Daddy Ass."
Didn't he look
Uh,
ridiculous though?
he did with his hat sideways.
The sideways hat and just like the wearing like a, you wear clothes of like someone half your age type of thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
yeah.
It's just
He
weird.
he gets away with it.
I
He
I
gets away with it.
I dress probably not like a almost 40-year-old man should most of the time, I guess, but I don't know.
You wear shorts and tank tops in the winter.
I do. And I wear my sunglasses at
That's a
night.
that's a behind the scenes for you fans who that's a little behind the
And
curtain there.
and flip
Uh,
flops, bro. Don't forget the flops.
flip flops. Oh man, that's funny. You
That's
know,
how we
it's at
do.
this point in the show where they tell us that Rampage is going to be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday here, West Coast.
What?
Yeah, Rampage is going to be at 1 p.m. On Friday.
Why? They showing
I
like the
don't know.
World Cup or something?
I don't know. The World Cup is tomorrow. Our game's tomorrow. Uh,
Right, but it keeps
USA versus
going.
England. USA versus England's tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I'll be watching football tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving Eve, Vito. We didn't even
Yeah,
mention that it's
yeah,
Turkey Day Eve.
yeah.
It might be
Thanksgiving Eve show.
it might be Turkey Day by the time we wrap this. No, I'm just kidding.
Uh,
We only have one more thing to talk about, and that's the main event, I do believe. Ring of
Stone
Honor title
Pitbull.
match.
One of my top
Jericho,
favorite, I'd say top five favorite NJPW wrestlers. I'm going to
Tomohiro
call it right here,
Ishii.
right now. Tomohiro Ishii. I think if I had to pick a top five favorite NJPW current wrestlers, he would be in my top five. I love Ishii. He's awesome. I like the way he's built. He's like this little stocky, like I don't know. He's a cool looking dude, and his wrestling style is very I don't know. It's wrestling, you know. He's a wrestler.
Absolutely. No, shout out to friend of the podcast, sometimes analyst on this podcast, Wayne D. That's like one of his favorite wrestlers as well. He
Shout out to Wayne.
he would tell me about him for years and years before I actually ever saw one of his matches.
Yeah, the
Um,
Stone Pitbull.
yeah, it's nice. He must be like living in America right now. Is Tony Khan flying all these guys in every week? I mean, what's the deal?
Yeah, no. Tomohiro Ishii was they were just saying on commentary that he was just at a New Japan show on last Friday
Oh,
or
okay.
something on Saturday or whatever.
So he
And
is
then
flying back and forth.
yeah, yep. And he was the television champion on Ring of Honor. That's how he was able to get in the ring with the Ocho. And he's been the never open weight champion a bunch of times. I'm gonna go look at. I mean, our media team is gonna go look at how many times Tomohiro Ishii has been champion, never open weight champion.
Well, they basically kicked the crap out of each other. I was very kind of hesitant about this being in the main event spot, but I think it definitely lived up to being a pretty good main event.
You know,
Arguably better than the trios title match.
they're not gonna put any trios title match on the main event.
Really?
I'd be surprised if they're going to.
Yeah. Not even the
He
last
won.
one?
He won the never open weight championship 6 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tomohiro Ishii. Anyway, this I'm not a huge fan of this match. I mean, it
Really?
was very intense. Actually, the match itself was good on the whole. The problem I have with it um, is I'm not into a chop fest. The match was
Mm,
good. I should not have said that. I don't like a chop fest. I'm not a big chop guy.
really?
So, yeah. I mean, a couple, two or three is good, but I don't want to see 30 chops in one match. Unless they're Eddie Kingston's cool little those things. He can pull 30 off in like a 20 seconds. He does those things fast.
Spoken like Bill Goldberg. Uh,
Yeah.
Goldberg told somebody, it was in somebody's book, I want to say maybe Jericho's. I'm not sure, but it was he told somebody, I can't remember if it was him or I can't remember what, but I know it was Bill Goldberg, and he was telling someone, "Oh, your chops are bullshit and they don't even hurt." He doesn't like taking chops, apparently.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was just I don't know. How do you feel about 50 chops a match?
It's a thing to do. It's just kind of like it's just like the pockets or just kind of like anything
Well,
else,
hold on a second. You're watching this
Like
match. How
blood.
many how many chops is there a point in this match during the as I
I
wrote down
love
here chop
chops.
fest? Is there a point in the chop fest where you're like, "Okay, come on, throw a forearm,"
I love
or
I love pork chops. I love lamb chops.
oh my goodness.
I love mutton chops. I mean,
Knife edge chops,
knife edge,
backhand
straight
chops.
chops. No, but in all seriousness, as a move, always loved the chop because to me, I mean,
I like
people's
it too in moderation.
right. People associate it with Japan strong style nowadays, but you forget my favorite chopper probably of all time, Ric Flair. You know,
Yeah. So
uh,
it's
so
good
yeah,
to do a chop and say woo afterwards. The audience says woo afterwards.
yes,
But if you're doing 500 chops a match, the audience is going to be tired. They're not going to be able to say woo that many times. I'm just saying, like, tonight,
I would
there
rather
was
have a,
like 10 chops a piece, and I'm just like, someone throw a forearm.
I'd
And
rather
then
have
10
a,
more chops, and then Tomohiro threw a forearm.
I'd rather have a chop fest than like a punch down
You're
or
out of
like
frame a little bit there.
oh okay.
There you are.
I'd rather have a chop fest than like a punch down and or like the headbutt spot where they tie up and then butt each other's heads. Which didn't they
Well,
do that in this match? No.
it was like, if it's like chop, chop, forearm, forearm, chop, chop, forearm, something like that, or if
Right.
it's like 5 chops and a couple forearms, I don't mind that. But it's like tonight, all they did was they just did a bunch of chops until Jericho was bloody, and then the chops that Tomohiro was doing was splashing blood on his face. There was drops of blood all over his face, and now it's from chops of Jericho's blood. It was horrible. Anyway, that was
I
my
don't
only
know.
complaint about this match.
Well, as brutal as it was, Jericho ends up winning.
Yeah,
Uh,
but Tomohiro Ishii does not tap out in without going out with a one last fight.
right. And an act of defiance.
Yeah, taps with the bird.
Yeah.
I mean, Jericho puts him in the tamer before he taps with the bird, but Tomohiro Ishii flips the bird and taps with it.
Yep. Jericho still champ. He goes after the announcer guy.
Ian Riccaboni.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Claudio comes out.
Again.
So this is obviously the match for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, right?
I guess so. I am so sick of this. Can we get anybody else?
Sick of Claudio or Jericho or
Yes.
both?
No, I love Claudio Castagnoli. And you know what? It boils down to what I was talking about on the pay-per-view. Or actually, I don't think I talked about it on the pay-per-view. I think I talked about it last Wednesday. It's the JAS, and I'm assuming there's still BCC because they haven't
Oh,
told me different.
right.
JAS and BCC. It's continuing.
Con-
Continuing. It's never going to end. It's awful.
It'll never end, bro.
No, it's going to be the AEW storyline.
It'll never
It's
freaking
awful.
end.
It's awful.
Well, now they're building this Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I guess that's priority one until that happens, and then we can actually start really focusing on what we're building for whenever the next pay-per-view is, which I guess isn't until February or March of
They
next
need to
year.
figure out an elimination chamber type match.
Or Royal Rumble type thing. Well, they kind of have that.
No, they need something where like it's gotta be like an elimination chamber where people like sit in waiting spots.
Okay.
But it's gotta be in a cage too, not necessarily a chamber. Put it in like war games. Put it in a big in the war games thing. Or what do they call it?
The blood and guts
Blood
cage.
and gut put it in the blood and guts cage. And then I don't know, make him run down, I guess, because there's 4 people in elimination chamber. So in this one, it'd start 2 guys, and then one guy would come down every 5 minutes. Isn't that what chamber rules are?
Yeah,
Right?
every 5 minutes.
And then it's
Yeah.
elimination, right? So basically, it
Yes.
would be the rules of chamber, but they're not in chambers. So it's
Okay.
kind of like war games, but it's a singles match, and it's for a title. And that's how they should do the ROH title at the pay-per-view.
Okay.
There, Tony, take my good stuff, not that dumb shit I say as a joke.
Sometimes
And
we
put
just
Sammy in there and give him the title. Sorry.
sometimes we just don't realize the power that we have.
I know.
What are we gonna rate this one, Vito?
That match went 15-27, I think, by the way.
15-27.
So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches. Only one of them went. Oh no, they all went pretty good time. They all went over 5 minutes. That's pretty good. Let's see here. How am I gonna rate this? Let's see. And there weren't any lull moments really for me, were there? There was a lull moment. What was my lull moment on here? There was the Keith Lee swerve thing. That was not cool. That was awful. I don't know. It was mostly good. I think I'll give it I think I'll go. Hold on a second. I almost went 4. That trios match was not what I wanted it to be. No, I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
I'll go 4 tonight.
Liked the matches. Didn't like a couple of the the bells and the whistles, the not having the champ, this and that and the other thing. Be that as it may, still a very enjoyable show. So I'm going to go with 3-5 and just kind of set the bar low.
That's true. Like, I didn't really take into account that the champ wasn't there. You know why? Because the champ is here. That's right. So hopefully he actually does show up next week and I don't have to bring this back. I mean, I do. I mean, look at you in person like that. Anyway,
The champ will be back and apparently building to a match with Ricky Starks is the plan, at least for the moment. So we'll see how that all shakes out. Vito, my man, thank you very much for joining me.
You
I
know
think
it.
we're
Every
about
Wednesday,
out of
it's how we
here.
do.
You know what time it is now.
Is it scissoring time,
It's
baby?
scissoring time. Thank you all for watching, for listening. Check it all out. PW Planet.
If you haven't watched the pay-per-view show, watch it. It was great. There was a
Yes.
special guest. I was live at the brand's house. It was lots of fun. Lots of fun.
You know it, my man. Watch it, listen to it, live it. pwplanet.com. Until
And
next
somewhere on
time,
the internet, I unboxed this somewhere too. Somewhere.
check out Vito TV on YouTube as well.
That's right.
We are out.
Peace. Champ's here.